What's up, everybody? I'm Jessica, and welcome to In the Studio. Today we are in Brooklyn, New York, at That's My Studio, which is the home studio of a very beautiful, talented, and eclectic soulful songstress by the name of Cole Williams.
Little me, know the truth, but still living a lie.
Today we're going to talk with Cole about her Brooklyn roots, what inspires her writing, and of course, her sound. So stay tuned.
I can't breathe. Don't you hear me calling? Don't you see me falling? Why don't you catch me?
So everybody, we are here with the very talented, very soulful, very eclectic Miss Cole Williams, Brooklyn born, raised, just Brooklyn stand up.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
Hello. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm good. Welcome to In the Studio.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
It's a great idea, great concept.
Oh, thank you.
Happy to be a part of it.
We're happy to have you. I mean, you bring something very unique to this, and we are just so fortunate that you decided to grace our lovely cameras with your wonderful presence.
Thank you.
So let's talk about where we are, because within the studio, typically we see soundboard, recording studio.
Yeah.
For real, we are in your home studio, your
Yes.
bedroom, where this is your zone. Talk to us.
That's My Studio.
Called That's My Studio.
That's My Studio, yeah. Well, you know, I do all my pre-production at That's My Studio in my home. So before I take it to my musicians or take it to a bigger studio, it has to happen here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not one of those people that can create like in a big space.
Mm-hmm.
I like intimate spaces where I feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why like you see like a lot of like clothes and like flowers and different patterns and textures, because that inspires me.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Just gets the juices flowing.
Gets the juices flowing.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I mean, you have your microphone. You have everything that you need to make good music.
I've recorded commercials in this piece, this bitch. Like, I've done everything in this thing.
You can curse. It's okay.
Thank you so much.
Oh, and
I
we
just feel censored.
Don't feel censored.
Yeah. So, like, I've done a lot of, you know, it's not like I've just done, like, a home, you know, recording that's really amateur. I've done, you know, stuff that's relevant, you know, that's made me some money, that's gotten me some notoriety, that's, you know, just moved me along. So
that's amazing.
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
I know,
so
that's
I'm going to stay right up in here, and I'm going to do it.
And you write as well in here.
Yeah, write, compose everything. I got the keyboard back there.
Nice.
Everything starts on that.
Well, let's talk about how long it took to finish 88 and what inspired that, because that song is very deep, it's very personal, it's very conscious, it's very about today. And for people who are not familiar with 88, tell us a little bit about the song and kind of what inspired you to even write such a very deep
It's kind of funny
song.
But it's kind of not funny.
Okay.
So, well, the number 88 came from just me being a numerologist. I'm really into numbers. So I decided I didn't want to break it down to like it's, you know, single digit. But 88, if you add that up, it's 16, which equals to 7. And 7 is a very poignant number. You know, the world was made in 7 days. You know, it's very religious and spiritual. So I was raised in the church, and so that's why I'm very attracted to the number 7. So I was dating this guy that just had me going so crazy in my mind. You know when you get in those situations with a dude and you know you think it's going well, and then they do something that just fucks you up in the head. You're like, but I thought I knew you, and
It's like always at 3-month mark.
Well, girl, right. So I'm about to break this shit down. So I woke up in the morning and I was just like out of it. You know, like one of those days you're just out of it. And I just started drinking a 40. I think it was like, what is it called? What's the name of that 40 called again? Colt 45.
I was getting ready to say that. Colt 45.
I had a Colt 45 and I started drinking that from 10 a.m. So then by the time it was 6 p.m., I was fucked up, drunk. And I started writing. I started writing this song. And, you know, like, so 578 days till the end of the world as we know it is here. That's the first line.
Right.
At the time I wrote it, we were talking about the Mayan calendar and, you know, the end of the world. So it was like literally 578 days till the world is supposed to end.
Yeah.
And then the next line is 120 days since we started building this house that can't be built. It's called A Love Affair. So 3 months that we're into this shit that's not happening.
Didn't I call it?
You called it.
3
That's why I
months.
was like, yes.
Listen,
so
dudes.
120 days.
I don't know what it is, but yes. It's 120.
That's the make or break period. That's where you realize that you're really interested or you're really not interested. But most guys don't have the guts or the balls to say, you know what, I'm not fucking interested. You're not doing it for me. Let me move on. They want to kind of hold on. I don't like that. So, you know, that's where I wrote it from. And then I just got into this like, oh, numbers. So like I got into like my birthday, you know, and I got into like the day, you know, like 10-0-0-1, it's my birthday. And then 0331, that's the day that I wrote the song, you know, like that's the date of my realization that this shit is not gonna happen. It's not going anywhere. And then the hook is like, you know, I'm onto something. Because I'm just like, I'm not the only one in this shit. I know you know what you're doing. And I'm gonna call you out in this song. Not to your face. I'm gonna fall back. That's what we do in Brooklyn. Sometimes you gotta fall back a little bit. So I fell back. Hey. And yeah, I fell back and I got a good song out of it.
My mind wants to run. You ain't never appreciate the time I put into us. I've been through the fire, through the rain. It's all your fault. You don't never miss a good thing till it's gone. I've been through the fire, through the rain. It's all your fault. You don't never miss a good thing till it's gone.
So you are Brooklyn, born and raised to the T, to the 9, to the down.
Born in Kings County.
Yes.
Born in Kings County Hospital on Lenox Road. Even the way I say Lenox, I heard like later in life it's like Lennox. Do people say Lennox?
Yeah.
But Lenox, because, you know, we're Caribbean over there. 2 years ago, somebody was like, where are you from? And I was like, Brooklyn. And they're like, oh, how long you been living there? You know, I never got that. You never got that, like, being a Brooklynite. And then I realized, oh, the change is coming.
The change is here, honey. It is here. You know,
Testify.
I'm a transplant.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. But it's just interesting just like, I used to run into so many people from Brooklyn, born and raised.
And it's not like that.
And nah, not anymore.
Do you think that brings a certain type of depth and passion and soul to your music, kind of like growing up here and experiencing the transition? Because I could imagine Flatbush back in those days, you know, wasn't a cakewalk. You know, do you think all of these life experiences that you've been through in the streets of Brooklyn kind of helps you become a more soulful artist?
It's like a very good question. Yes and no. So, yes, because, you know, I was always like in this concrete jungle, you know? So, of course, I'm absorbing things, even if I don't realize that I'm absorbing it. But at the same time, I was very protected. You know, I was raised an only child. And so I grew up in a house. So, like, but right across the street or 2 blocks away was the PJs. Or, you know, were people that weren't really doing that well. Like, my parents never made me feel poor. Like, I never felt like I went without. But I still was aware of just, like, you know, other people not going without. So even though I was kind of, you know, not rich, I never grew up feeling poor. I just felt like I need to be somewhere else. Like, I just always felt like that was possible. Yeah.
You mentioned there are a lot of people that make it out, they become very successful, and there are a lot of artists from Brooklyn that are very successful, that are very famous. I want to get your opinion.
Yes.
We're going to play a little game.
Okay.
I'm going to say a name. You're going to give me 3 words to describe how you feel.
Okay,
Just
3 words. That's like...
3 adjectives.
I'll try.
If you want to throw in a noun, you can do that as well. We're going to get up on our little English class, 12th grade stuff going on. Okay, so I'm going to say an artist name. You're going to give me 3 words. Okay. The first 3 words to pop into your head.
Okay.
Biggie.
Legend. Fat. Rapper. You want it authentic, right? You said the first 3 words. I can give you 5 more.
She was going to have some other stuff. We're going to keep going. I needed that last. Alright. Fat legendary rapper. Okay. I have to write that down somewhere. Child, okay.
That's so true. It's right. It's so apparent. Nobody ever talks about that. But he talked about it himself.
He did talk about being fat.
Yeah, I love Biggie.
I love Biggie too. Alright, next. Jay-Z.
Mogul. Smart. Hustler.
I'm scared to say this one. Little Kim.
Cute. Lost. Talented.
Cute, lost, and talented. That's deep. Foxy. I can't stop laughing. I'm sorry.
I haven't heard Foxy's name in a minute.
Oh my God.
Entertaining. Legend. Slightly cray-cray.
Cray cray?
Yeah.
Cray. Who else?
Maybe she's lost too. Yeah.
So you think Foxy and Kim are both lost?
Maybe. Too, like, really talented. Like, where is Foxy? You know, she's, like, so talented. Like, she was 16. You know? When she came out. Like, 16, 17. Yeah, that's, like, some big shit.
That's pretty amazing.
She's hardcore. Okay.
That was the game.
Okay.
All right.
Did I do good?
You did well. Only problem is you had me laughing throughout the entire game because you referred to Biggie as a fat legendary rapper.
Well, that's
but
the truth.
It's all good.
You told me, you gave me instructions. I follow instructions very well.
I love it. And you know what? We love it, friends. So, yeah, that was great. But I do feel you on the other. So staying on this whole Brooklyn theme, you have a song called Brooklyn.
Yes.
And it has a very Phaedra Parks-esque beginning about
the donkey
booty.
Yeah. So this song, I started writing the music first. I started with piano, and I had it for maybe like a week, 2 weeks. I wasn't sure like what I wanted it to be lyrically. And then I went to sleep. You know, like that point when you sleep, like you're not quite asleep, but you're still, you know, you're not quite awake. And I just thought, like, I had the first 2 lines in my head. Her name is Brooklyn. She had a donkey. And I was like, okay, with the melody, and I was like, okay, Cole, don't forget this, because I wanted to go to sleep. I couldn't get up. I was like, I can't do this tonight. And I'm like, don't forget this, don't forget this, don't forget this. And, like, I remembered it, which was really cool. So I went, and I just started writing. I just started, like, going with that and just telling the story of Brooklyn. Brooklyn, for me, was something that I just felt I had to write about. I'm from Brooklyn, you know. Even though I represent Brooklyn, like, I haven't represented it, like, you know, in a song, you know, like, for real. And then just seeing the changes that were happening, and I just thought about, wow, this would be really cool just to, like, write this story about Brooklyn, and let me call Brooklyn a woman, because I'm a woman. And just talking about the growth and the changes, and, you know, the ghetto goes and the ghetto grows, but it's too late. We can't live in the past. Like, that Brooklyn that I grew up in, that's gone. You know, but I can embrace this Brooklyn, and I can just tell people like what Brooklyn used to be. And that's for me what I wrote this song about. I wanted like anybody that's from Brooklyn, you know, and even if you live in Brooklyn, it's great, but like people that are from Brooklyn, I want you to hear this song, and I want this to be like your anthem.
Don't you hear me calling? Don't you see me falling? Why don't you catch me? I can't breathe.
Thank you, everybody, for joining in the studio. I'm Jessica. We're here with Cole Williams. Until next time.
Suck your
Brooklyn
teeth out.
Edition.